So like I said, Gemini AI is really good with certain things when it comes to writing and really not great with other things. It's really descriptive, solid grammar now, but it lacks imagination in certain specific ways that makes writing. So that's why I give it a 6 out of 10. Because when I'm letting Gemini DM or GM, uh, it really gives when it gives options, it's really cut and dry options, and the plots are kind of bland. So let's see, like for this little, pseudo Dungeons and Dragons run with Gemini, I have my wrestler character, which is a squared circle, or yeah, is it a circled square or squared circle? Well, it's some squared circle pugilist or something like that. Basically, a wrestler character, and he runs a. Just roll the way up. It's a lot of content, but he runs a caravan of a circus that includes the wrestling scene. But he's also one of the top wrestlers and pugilists for the circus he runs. And this caravan, he goes around the world collecting parts and people, so he can turn his caravan into a giant flying circus. And it's also submissible or submarine, and it's also able to drill underground. So, but yeah, like I said, when Gemini gives the options, it's very. That's why I call it 6 out of 10. It's very bland. The options it's giving, it can't do advanced plots. Is a simpler way to put it is that, yeah, Gemini still can't do advanced plots. So everything is when I'm going through it with Gemini as the DM, everything's very plain. Everything's cut and dry. There's no big plot twists or anything like that. You're just doing this, and then you're doing that, and then you're doing this, and then you're doing that, and then Gemini will give you like a couple options, usually three options. Oh, you want to do this, this, or this. Now, in my other, I've done quite a few of these. In some of my other runs of having Gemini DM this, kind of DnD runs. Once in a while, I don't, I think it's on accident. Gemini will throw out a fun plot twist, but that's only once in a blue moon, and I think it is on accident. Like the AI doesn't know it's creating a decent plot twist. Like there's one where um let's see, where I was a barbarian, and then something crash lands, and then the characters get transported in through a portal, and then the machines on that ship pretend to be like they pretend to be navigators when they're like cosmic conquerors. So he gives my character gives the orb back to them, and then a couple story arcs later, they come back, and it turns out they're working with a cult, and they are not good guys after all. So that's one kind of okay, plot twist, which is like I would give it, from a 6 to a 7 out of 10. And, it's nothing Game of Thrones level. Like I can write Game of Thrones level plot twists, But that's where Gemini sits, where it's like a 6 out of 10, very very plain, very matter of fact. You get this choice, this choice, this choice to go on a quest to do these things, and they're cut and dry, and very 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 few plot points. And when they do come, I think that Gemini is generating them on accident. Gemini has generated quips on accident as well. It's like one or two or three where I'm like, whoa, it's like I'm almost like I'm talking to a person who's snarky. It does that once in a blue moon, and I've done the Gemini DMing stuff runs like maybe 20 times already, 20 to 30 times. Like, let's see, like most of these. Let's see. What is this? Digital chat. Oh. Let's try to kind of trolling the AI here. But let's see. Let's see. No, that's not a DnD one. I started it. Man, right here. It's like my first DnD one. Oh yeah, this might be the first one. Let's play a game of DnD. So I started around here. So where is that? Oh, it's gone. Okay. Yeah, this was the first one where I made a barbarian. And then it like gives me a little bit of a story, but it's very cut and dry. Like it's very descriptive, very good grammar, but everything's like, how would I put it? It's kind of like in when you play video games. So when you're playing video games and you're doing a video game plot, it's kind of cut and dry. For like say an MMO where it's like you're doing a fetch quest or doing something like that. That's the way Gemini talks. It can't talk like a human being who's well versed in writing. You can't do that yet, and its snarkiness is far and few in between. Sometimes it attempts snarkiness, but the snarkiness comes off. It's like it doesn't make sense sometimes, or it comes off as just bland. See, it always gives like three options. So I finish one quote unquote quest, and then it'll give me three options to continue uh, the storyline. So the way it writes is like I do one thing and then I'm on to the next thing, and none of these things will ever really be connected. So it's just a different quest. You're just doing a different thing. And then some preferences the AI likes. The AI likes to do portals space time stuff and underground stuff. That's what it really likes to do. At least when you're making a level 20 character. Or maybe that's just like Dungeons and Dragons at level 20. Because